And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to 104.5, a family of God, if you permit me, a family of love. Of course, family of God, because God is love. So we are family of God, of love. So, permit me to ask, how was church? For those who went to church, how was it? How did it go? Did you go to church? Okay, I know, lots, some persons, no longer want to go to church, right? Some people no longer want to go to church, and that's not good. That's not a good one, okay? So how was church? You might want to call me and tell me how your service was, how the service went, how your time in church today went. And you might also want to call me and tell me why you no longer go to church, right? Why you stopped going to church. Yes, right. Okay. The devil, has very subtle ways, he really, he's really messing up the minds of people, some people, not everybody. All right. The devil is really, using this opportunity, right, this time, right, to mess the minds of people. People are really going through a lot. I know that people really, really going through a lot. Some have lost interest in going to church. That's what I'm saying. I said that because I read something somebody wrote, somebody wrote something and posted, he said, for those of you going to church, I'm quoting what the person wrote, all right? He said, for those of you going to church, he said, do well to pray for those who are not going to church, some of us have suddenly lost interest in church. So the person continues. He said, now how to survive with the think now, one day at a time. Now how to survive with the think now. Okay. Now how to survive. So that's what the person said. And I know, I want to believe that this is not just, that person. This is not only pertaining to that person. I know a couple of people, some of you listening to me right now, this might also be your story. Okay. The devil is very intentional and strategic. Don't let him win. Don't let him win your life. Don't let anything separate you. All right, from the love of God. So if you think going to church is a problem, so since you started staying back from church, now this is me asking you now. We are a family of love, so we care about your well-being and everything that that pertains to you. We care about it. So since you've started staying back from church to think about how to survive, just like that person said, he said, now how to survive. Yes, now how to survive with the think now. So all this while, since you stop going to church and stay back home, to think about how to survive, what progress have you made? It's just a question. So, but please, that's not what is best for you to do now. So if you ever needed the Lord, this is the time. It's not the time to quit, not the time to lock up on God. It's the time to look up to God. But permit me to tell you that there's lifting of the hands. There's lifting of the heart. Whoa. And there's the lifting of the eyes beyond the hill to where my help comes from. You know that song? It's from the Bible portion, Psalm 121. It said, I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. Bible says, my help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Now, the church is not the problem. The church is not the problem. Staying away from church is not the solution either. So, the times we are in now calls for more deliberate measure. The Bible had said we should live circumspectly, for the times we live are evil. It is also said, the Bible also said we should watch and pray. It didn't say we should stop, we should lose hope. We should give up on God. He said we should watch. When you watch, you're watching to see the wiles of the devil, the tricks of the devil. You watch, then you pray against it. Okay, so this is not the time for you to switch off and give up on God. You know that song? Don't give up on God, for He doesn't. In spite of all those, of the all days, God doesn't give up on you. In spite of you giving up on Him, He does not give up on you. So do not switch off and give up on God. It is time. This time is that time you should depend more on God. And it's time for you to lift up your eyes to the hills from whence cometh your help. So your help wouldn't come from you staying away from church. Okay. You might ask, what's the big deal in going to church or not going to church? It's a big deal, right? Bible says, right? Don't forget the assembly, the coming together of brethren, right? So you need a vibrant, you need to join. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. So when you go to church, the atmosphere, the clapping, the foot stamping, and the screaming, the shouting of that, you don't know what, would just happen, at the screaming. Don't also forget that. I think I have a caller. Okay, let's hear this caller. Hello. If you also want to call and tell us how your service, your church went, and tell us you didn't go to church and why you stopped going to church. All right. And then I is, stating, she has stated some instances, all right, calculation of fuel, transportation, and then a lot of persons, listen to the radio, to the TV, and okay, so that's why home is now comfortable. So it's comfortable to serve God, in the comfort of your home, right? So people no longer want to stress themselves. They no longer want to go up to the, to Mount Zion, to Jerusalem, to the mountain, right, to worship God. So people now do that at the comfort of their homes. Is that correct? Is that right? Come on, the purpose of church is just coming together, brethren. Yes. You might say, or you would say that you are a church. Yes, the church is not that building. In fact, the church is you and I coming in one place. Come on. And church happens. Coming in one location, one accepted, agreed place. And church is set to begin. Okay, and then I said, it's, why some people no longer go to church. Okay, the transportation, if you calculate the transport, it's not making sense. And humanly, okay, you would know that. But also remember your God, comes all the way from heaven. Heaven is far, far, far away, reaching you, here on earth. It's far. If you want him to calculate, to calculate the transportation from heaven down here, it's sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. So, but church, like I said, you need a church. But to you who is also listening to me, if God has really, really blessed you, God has been good to you, don't wait until you want to run for a political office before you show kindness. If you have cars you're not using, clothes you're not wearing, household items you're not using, and you're doing very well, please give it out to your family members, to your loyalists, your pastors, your friends, loved ones. Please give it out. Or it's just a phone call. You could just make that call to someone, just check up on someone. Like I said at the beginning of the program, people are really going through a lot. Make that phone call. Give that item out. You have them stocked, piled up in your house you're not using. Please try to pay a taxi fare. I don't know if with all of this, I don't know if people are still doing that. Pay taxi fare for someone who doesn't have to pay. The best form of help is helping those who cannot offer the same help, who cannot reciprocate your own help, the kind of help. Please, those blessings God has given to you, those riches God has given to you, didn't give it to you for you, your wife, and your two children, you and your children only. Reach out. Try to be sensitive of the season. See what is happening. See what the season is talking about. So you try to, let God use you, if that's okay. Let God use you. Okay. So become someone's sunshine. Become someone's breath of fresh air. Nothing is too small. John Maxwell has said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.